They include case 2011 CR 217. They also include 2012 CR-9. Each involved the state of Ohio versus Ramon Ortega IV. Mr. Ortega is present. His counsel, Mr. Ramsey, is also in attendance. Mr. Treese is here on behalf of the state of Ohio, and Officer McLean joins us from the Adult Probation Department.
As to the drug case, we're talking about a significant amount of drugs here. We're talking about 240 approximately grams of cocaine, 116 grams of powder, 125 grams of crack. That is a lot of drugs, Your Honor. Even under F1 standard, that is a large amount of drugs, well above the threshold for a felony of the first degree. So we're talking about a very serious felony of the first degree, even within its own bound. I'd ask the court to first consider the physical harm to the victim here. Ms. Johnson was actually harmed 3 different ways. She was basically stabbed in 3 different places. She attempted to defend herself and was cut in the hand. She again attempted to defend herself and was stabbed in the right arm. This was a puncture wound of her right arm. And the most serious and most actually gruesome injury that she received was a rather large laceration, a slice on her left thigh, a slice that was so large it required 25 stitches when she went to the hospital. So we're talking about a rather significant physical harm upon Ms. Johnson, being stabbed multiple times by Mr. Ortega. Finally, we're here today not because Mr. Ortega chose to take responsibility and turn himself in. We're here today because the United States Marshals got involved and had to break down or get through doors and go into people's homes to track down Mr. Ortega. He did not turn himself in. It required federal intervention to get Mr. Ortega to appear in court today. So given all of those factors, I would ask that the court impose a 7-year term as to the 2011 case and an 8-year term as to the 2012 case, 7 years being mandatory. And I would ask that the court run these matters consecutive, one after the other, for a total of 15 years.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey. Mr. Ortega, the law provides you the right to make a statement if you wish. You may proceed.
Yes, I got a few things, Your Honor. I'm not sitting there asking for mercy or leniency. I'm just asking to be treated fair like everyone else. Like my last name was Smith or Woods or something. Not Ortega, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be treated fair. Like in half these cases, like weren't handled right. Not in like normal people get handled right. I mean, like I did research and there's people that are on felony probation and catch more felonies and get an OR bond or get another bond. No, they're on probation. That should revoke their right to even get a bond. I'm out on bond and get accusations made and they revoke my bond for 5 months. And that wasn't right. But whatever, I did it, that's in the past now and all that. But I'm sorry. I want to tell my family I'm sorry. My brothers, my wife, my aunt, my whole family, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to do this. Take full responsibility for everything I've done. Do my time and move on and come home and start over. That's all. And a couple other things, Your Honor. All the drugs in the house on 700 Davis Street were mine, everything. Brandy Cook then, now Brandy Ortega, they had nothing to do with it. She was out of town a week prior to that. And then the whole month of August through the end of August, I had rented a room at my mother's house on 747 East Sandusky Street. It was the first room to the right when you come in the back, and I had handguns in there in the vent right there, 2 9mm. I take full responsibility for those. I don't know what the charges for that. I was not a convicted felon at the time of that. But my fingerprints are on them, everything. That's mine too, you know. I want to take full responsibility. I don't want my dad to have to come back home and take responsibility for something his son did again. He's already in prison for me now. So I'm taking full responsibility as a man. So then I want that on the record too. I had wrote some statements, but I left them at the Justice Center. But I'll send them home or something. So it's on. So I wrote a statement too, you know. That's it. Thanks.
All in all, however, it appears to me to establish that recidivism is likely when we take a look at this case as a whole and all of the opportunities that he had to show this court that he was a changed person. He has not done that. So in my view, based upon the range of 3 to 10 years, I'm going to impose and order the defendant serve a mandatory term of 8 years at the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction as a result. Having said that, the state of Ohio has elected to proceed on count 3, the aggravated burglary, which presents a 3 to 11 year possibility. So in this case, I'm likewise going to impose from the range of 3 to 11 years an 8-year prison term. The court to order that the 8-year sentence In case 2011 CR 217 and the 8-year sentence. In 2012 CR 9, with those 2 sentences of 8 years each be served consecutively for an aggregate term of 16 years return.
Okay, hold it back.